Good evening, everyone. This is the January 24, 2018 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being broadcast live and is also being recorded and can be viewed at the town website, which is auburnguide.com. Before I begin tonight's meeting, I need to ask if anyone in the audience is making a recording of this meeting. There being no indication that that is happening, the first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 p.m. public hearing. LSS-MA Farms LLC requests for determinations of applicability for lots 3, 4, and 5, and notice of intent for lots 1 and 2 for the installation of a commercial solar collection facility on property located at 476 Leicester Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So vote. Good evening.
Good evening. Nick Fasandola, Level Design Group, the civil engineer for the project. With me is Pedro Rodriguez from Seaboard Solar,
Okay.
the applicant's representative for all the separate parcels and the overall property owner of the entire site.
Right.
So I just wanted to come in tonight. I know it's been a few months since we've been before the commission, and the last we would have saw any of you would be the site walk.
That's correct.
I'm sorry that we missed you. I think we had a little miscommunication.
What happened is that Allison toured part of the site, and then Tom Fell and I toured the other part of the site. I actually think she got the better part of the deal because it was pretty rough walking for us.
Yeah, we went straight up the path and then kind of came down here, looked at this area, and then we did a little bit more investigation of, mostly the bridge and down through here. But so just want to give you a quick heads up, sort of update on what's been going on since we've last met. I know in town there's been a lot of conversation about the development on the non-frontage lots, and that was a big item for the planning board. I know there's some concerns here about that, and we recently closed our ZBA hearing for the special permit, and town council issued guidance that this configuration is allowable. So, and the ZBA did approve the special permit. We don't have our final approval. We're still waiting for the conditions on that. So we're waiting on that final piece, but they did close the hearing and vote to approve this type of project here. And since then, we've had the review engineer review the initial submission. We've held off on making any plan modifications regarding that review letter, just until we had confirmation that we could develop the site in this fashion. So we got that go-ahead last Thursday. We're in the process of responding to those comments. There's going to be some changes with the site drainage to address those comments. We're going to be widening the driveway. This is the central drive all the way through here to approximately 18 to 20 feet, regrading it so it's a easier slope for emergency vehicles to access. We're going to look to have an average grade of about 10 to 12% coming up through the main driveway. We've requested a meeting with public safety to discuss any additional access that they're going to want other than this main driveway through the center of the site. They're going to need access around the perimeter, if they're going to look for access down in this area. So we want to try and satisfy them to the best that we can, but it is a very hilly site with a lot of tough terrain, so we'd like to try and keep a road out of here, as it's essentially a 3-to-1 slope straight down to the wetlands. We prefer not to have to grade in the driveway on this side, maybe provide access up along this ridge line if that would be suitable to them, but we're still working all those issues out. So there may be some additional disturbance in the buffer zone. We don't know until we had that conversation with them, and it's a very important part to the site. We want to make sure anybody up here is going to be safe, and that the fire and rescue can't access the site as they deem fit.
It occurs to me, just on the portion of the site that we walked, that the amount of site work you need to do is substantial.
For clearing work.
Yes,
I mean, it's not.
clearing work.
We're trying to keep the grading and grubbing and earth removal and earth moving to a minimum. So yes, I mean, like I said, we're probably the clearing totally on the entire 5 projects. I think we said it was about 40 40 plus acres.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a large property, it's about 123 acres, so we're clearing almost,
A third.
yeah, about a third of it. So, I mean, the goal would be log it, chip anything under 8 inches in diameter, and then those are the larger logs would have to be removed from the site, and they'd all come down through the access drive through here.
Okay.
But,
So what I'm hearing is that it sounds like there are going to be revisions to the plan,
yes.
and clearly we're not in a position to close the public hearing.
No, we're just here to give you an update. Like I said, it's
I
been
appreciate that.
over 2 months.
Right.
And just to see, because we haven't spoken since the site walk, so
That's right.
if there was any items that the commission wanted to talk about before we make our plan revisions, it would be good to get any input that you guys have from the site walk. Anything that you see would be an issue, any concerns that we have regarding any of the resource areas or the limits of disturbance. We're going to try and keep the proposed limits of disturbance, like I said, but we may have to do some additional grading to provide access around the perimeter of the site, depending on the requirements of the fire captain. Who do we have?
Yeah,
Nietzsche.
so Niche Engineering is working on the structural survey of the bridge. It was supposed to be done last week, but because of the weather, it's been delayed.
Sure.
But I should have the report back this Friday or Monday. So with the report, it's gonna tell us, what exactly we need to do to bring the bridge back, up to code and make it structurally sound.
Right.
So what they told me right now is that the base of the bridge is good. Like we're not gonna have to add any of concrete in there, which is good. The only work that seems like we're gonna have to do is replace the wood decking. And he gave me 2 options so far. I mean, there's gonna be more specified when we get the report. But one of them is reinstalling new wood decking, and the other one that he said that would be faster and less impact to the site is do the precast concrete.
Right.
So you just have it precast, bring it to the site, and just install it in a day or 2.
Okay.
And so that seems to be the best option. But next meeting we'll have the full report, exactly what's going to happen and how it will be.
Okay. So in terms of the timetable here, our next meeting is on February 14th. Do you think that's sufficient time for you to, to the extent you need to revise your plan, will that give you sufficient time to make any revisions that are required?
We believe so, yeah. I've been working on it this week, and hopefully have it wrapped up as soon as we can get an audience with the captain.
Okay.
To discuss the access. That's going to be the main thing, because if we do get into additional site disturbance and grading, it's going to be more drainage required.
Right.
Those types of things. So that's going to really impact where we have to go with the stormwater. So once we get that figured out, we should be able to finalize everything pretty quickly. So
Okay.
hopefully Graves will have enough time to review the plans. He said they need about a week.
I have a couple of questions about the access road. What are the requirements by the fire department and or police department coming to, especially the fire department, of course? In other words, how wide is that access road? And is it one way in, one way out, or is it a circular road that's going to make it accessible?
Well, we're going to shoot for a 18-foot wide access driveway.
So it's one way, basically. It's a one-way road.
It's
Can two vehicles pass?
2 vehicles? I wouldn't say comfortably, but we're going to have a little bit extra grading on the side. So if somebody does have to pull off the side to let somebody else pass, but for the most part, it's going to be essentially one way. We'll probably have a couple turnouts in a few of these spots through here to assist during construction, but we're trying to keep it as minimal as possible, because the only time it's really going to be used heavily is during construction. And then you're just going to have routine maintenance, 1 or 2 people coming in here, a week essentially to inspect the panels, and then essentially do some brush cutting in the summer. So it's going to be a minimally used road other than the construction time. And when construction's underway, there's going to be a lot of coordination, radios, things like that, to ensure that you don't have a fully loaded log truck coming down and you have a guy coming up with a concrete truck. That's not going to work.
Right.
So we want to try and keep the disturbance minimal. The bridge is only so wide, and we're not looking to add an additional lane to that. So the intent is to keep the driveway at 18 feet. That's the standard for public safety for an access drive. The slope will be 12% roughly on average throughout. That's what we're shooting for, which is workable based on the review engineer's letter. I agree with that. It's a good safe slope to work with, other than we're going to be doing some additional grading down by the entrance to level it out a little bit more, maybe 5 to 8%, so you have a nice little level landing as you're coming into the roadway. So we're going to be doing some additional work down here, far outside the commission's jurisdiction, but we're going to be doing additional grading down here. I don't know if you saw, when you pull up there, it just kind of just climbs right up. We still have to figure out, we may pave the first couple hundred feet, all depends, just to kind of keep it stabilized as you're meeting the existing roadway. So that's another thing that we're going to be looking at doing. So just to kind of keep everything nice and tight, because it is paved right now. I know there was some concerns that, this is a steep grade, you have a lot of runoff coming down through here, less than water washouts in that access road. So we may have to do some stabilizing of the roadway through here with pavement if possible. The rest of the site climbs up pretty evenly through here, and we believe the rest can just be compacted gravel or asphalt tailing, something that's still permeable, but a little bit more stable when you compact it. We like the asphalt tailings for a situation like this. It provides a good driveway.
Okay.
Can you, sorry, can you
Go ahead.
highlight some of the changes that we discussed during the site walk that the rest of these guys didn't get to hear?
Sure, we travel, us and Tom here, butter to the south, pretty much walked the site through here. We looked at this detention basin here, and we talked about running an outlet pipe out this way. So I told Tom Shannon of the butter that we, instead of just directing it straight down towards the property line, it looks like we have enough grade here to run a longer pipe and then put some sort of riprap pad that kind of directs it more towards the wetland instead of his property line.
That's a good idea.
So we're going to go ahead and make that change with the changes we're going to be making, addressing the review engineer's comments. And the same thing here, he was a little concerned that this pipe was kind of shooting out towards his, the property line with his parcel right here. So I said, we could easily take it down this way and give it a little more land travel versus sending it out that way. We'll still keep the emergency overflows where they are, because those do direct towards the resource area. So we'll keep those in the same location.
I always said maybe in the northwest corner there, but to keep it more on the property.
This way?
So that it was discharged.
That would be this way. You can't go uphill.
Northwest, like from what I'm looking at right now, I don't know where north is. Yeah,
Yeah,
northwest. The northwest corner of the basin.
This one here?
No.
This one? This way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not, but that's what I remembered.
Okay.
Instead of it going straight onto his property, just going further up so that it would have more time to slow down and whatever on.
Oh, okay. I thought we were looking at going down this
I could
way,
be
so we
wrong.
go that
It's a
way.
long toe.
'Cause, I
So
mean,
I looked up.
right now it goes out here, so if it goes out this way, it wouldn't really change much from the current configuration. So I was thinking that we'd bring it out this way, and then you'd have all this travel down here, because this all slopes down. The grade flattens out pretty easily through here, so if I put the pipe there, it's essentially the same distance as it currently is.
Okay.
So I think I'll run it down towards this direction. But I mean, I could.
No, that's just
we could go the other
totally.
way.
It was
As long as I have the
all
elevation, it doesn't make a difference. But I think if we put it down through here, do a really nice little riprap pad, nice wide pad, it should disperse out a little bit more evenly than directly into the wetland there.
How much penetration is there into the soil in that area?
I don't understand the question.
Okay, we're putting the solar panels up. I don't know a great deal about their implementation.
Oh, okay.
How much is there, how much do they penetrate to the ground? Just stanchion?
So they're these boxes. They're I don't know, metal. I think aluminum racks. They
Yeah,
hold
aluminum
about
racks.
30 solar panels each,
How deep do they?
and they have 4 contact points that are adjustable, so to account for the varying terrain. So and those go into the ground about 36 inches.
It's a 36 inch. I mean, almost every single, well, not every single, but like each section will be a little bit different. Right before construction, we do something called a geotech study,
Okay.
and just to determine, the deepest of the screw, we will be between like 36 inches or for a fee. That's all.
So they're,
Just only these screws.
Yeah.
So every single rack has 4 or 6 legs.
Right.
With screws in the middle.
What's the diameter? I'm just curious.
It depends. I mean, the one that we used in West Brookfield, which was a steeper side than this one, the screw were probably, I think it's like this big.
Each panel is that, each panel.
Each screw, yeah, the screws are usually like this big and about this big.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
and if there's bedrock, they'll just drill right into that and anchor to that. They wouldn't do any blasting or anything
Yeah,
to,
no.
to get these in. They'll just drill right into it, and it actually provides a nice stable base for those.
Okay. All right, so we currently have a 7 o'clock hearing on Wednesday, February 14th. How about 7:15? Does that work for you?
Sure, that works fine. And then, like I said, we'll do our best. Hopefully we can coordinate with fire safety on the access around the site. If we can get all that worked out,
Okay.
we'll submit and hopefully have.
And if you
comments.
can't, then let us know, and then we'll continue until
Correct.
February
We'll
28th.
continue.
Okay, so can I have a motion, please?
Motion to continue the LSS Mass Farms LLC request for determination of applicability for lots 3, 4, and 5, notices of intent for lot Williamson. To
February
February
14th.
14th at 7:15, please.
Very good. Is there a second?
Second, yeah.
Is there any discussion? I'm sorry, before we do that, sir, do you have any comments?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Pardon me.
For the plan?
I didn't mean to cut you off.
So, I'm Tom Shannon, 460 Leicester Street.
Yes, sir.
And my lot line is here, here, and up here.
Mhm.
So this whole, it's like you said, 125 acres, but the whole thing's concentrated at my lot line.
Mhm.
And it's a hilly area, and it's a commercial development being put in a residential area. And there's currently no zoning or bylaws, so it's pretty much open on what's going in. Like, I'm concerned about setbacks, even though it's a commercial development being put in a residential area, the setbacks are not determined, they're determined for houses, not for commercial.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but that's not within our jurisdiction, though. I would think that's something you would take up with the planning board or even the ZBA. Have you talked to the ZBA about this?
That was passed, it was
Okay.
passed because the state authorized it in a residential area, so that's why it's here.
I'm just saying to you, Mr. Shannon, we have
Right.
assigned jurisdiction, and
I'll stick to conservation.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
So, as far as the, like these riprap swales
Mhm.
going right onto my property, I don't understand that that's proper to have, because all the like, it's all hill, and they made detention ponds along the borderlines,
Right.
and the detention ponds, they're putting these spillways onto my property.
Mhm.
And they're gathering the water, making it focused onto that area, and then onto my property, which I don't believe is proper. And the same, this one is centralized off this hill, goes here, onto the property. And the same for this one here, goes there, down to my property. They're concentrating the water to a spillway. And the spillways are going towards my property, which I don't know if that's proper or not.
I understand that. In the past, have you had problems with runoff from that parcel?
It's all wooded right now. Right now, it runs all over the hill, coming down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're concentrating it into one area, and I'm not sure what's gonna
And so
happen.
you're concerned that when the ground cover is removed, it's gonna just come onto your
And
property?
it's all clear cut too.
Mhm.
Other than what the Graves Engineering said, I'm not gonna discuss their stuff that they suggested. We'll discuss that at the later meeting.
Mhm.
But not including that clear cut, where's the water gonna go? They're having it focused on to my property,
Understood.
and that's a concern.
Well, I mean, I think you heard, this is certainly not the final plan. It sounds like I thought I heard that there were going to be certain accommodations made in an attempt to divert water into the wetland area and away from your property.
Yeah, but it's the spillways.
Okay,
And the spillway, he says, I was thinking that they'll be diverted away, but the spillways are still gonna be there. He said the spillways aren't gonna move.
okay. Well, why don't we do this? I'd like, since this is not a final plan, let's see what the final plan looks like, and then we can take that up at that time,
Okay.
okay?
Thank you for your time.
All right, you're welcome, my pleasure. Is there any other public comment? Okay, so there was a motion to continue the public hearing to February 14th at 7:15, and I believe there was a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote. All right, gentlemen, thank you for coming in, and we'll see you on February 14th.
Thank you.
Good night. So we have two other items in our agenda for this evening, both requests for certificate of compliance. I see Mr. Stelmach is here, relating to certain parcels located at Prospect Street. I have to confess that I was busy this past weekend. I did not have an opportunity to get out. Mea culpa. But if you're available this weekend, I'd be happy to walk the site with you. I have an appointment in the morning, but I could meet you maybe around 1 o'clock on Saturday.
On Saturday?
Yeah.
Sure.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
You want to meet right at the entrance of the new road?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that works.
All right, 1 o'clock.
Okay, yes. And so if other members of the commission are available, please join us.
Okay.
Okay? Just because I have something in the morning I
Is
have
this-
to attend to.
That's the entrance right to,
To Whitman Bailey Drive.
yeah, got it, okay.
Yeah.
I should know that.
Is
Okay.
it easy to look at without you?
Oh, yeah, because we can walk the first two lots. I mean, the replication area
Mhm.
is right there, and you can, all the silk fence and everything, it's all right in front of the lots.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go right up the street, and we can park in the empty lot, and you can see.
I think it's supposed to warm up too, so.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
That would be good.
Okay,
All right, thank you for coming in.
thank you.
All right,
Aye. Sorry, I'm not available.
it's okay, you're forgiven. And then the last item is a certificate, a request for certificate of compliance for 813 Southbridge Street. Mr. Grabowski,
Yes, I made it.
I see that. I told you didn't have to come.
I know, but I didn't have to go to Westminster, so it was one or the other. I
Okay.
included those four of them up there, those certificates, so the agent said you're all set, so I said I came.
Perfect, so anyway, I did take a look at the site. I did see some, it looks like there are the remnants of hay bales and there's a silt fence there still.
Yes.
And also near where the, there's like an enclosure for the trash
Yes, sir.
container. It appears there are building materials there that have not been removed. And you look, based on the look on your face, I see that you're shocked by that.
Oh, building materials, right. well,
Like some rock, I actually took pictures, which, why don't you come on up?
Did you get my last email about us maintaining the catch
Yes,
basin?
I did, and I got the letter, and I will share that with the commission.
Thank you very much. I wanted to make sure that the commission was aware that since 1977, nobody maintained the catch basin. So when we went in there this year and finally got the certificate of compliance with that old order, that I did have them maintain and suck out those catch basins, a hydro truck, and clean out the outflow area. In the past, water had flown, filled up the catch basin, then it, so water going into them with silt would just flow over the asphalt berm and went into the wetland. And obviously that was non-functional, so we put them back into a functional state, the two of them, and now we're with a letter stating that we're gonna, as part of our yearly maintenance, or bi-yearly maintenance, we're gonna go in there and make sure that they're inspected and they're at least 50% capacity. The two corners. Is this, let's see, McDonald's. I'm not sure McDonald's is on that site. It isn't, because that's a Cloverleaf.
That's right. So anyway, the trash enclosure is over here, so they're building materials. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay, gravels and such.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's the.
And then the hay bales,
I'll go running down towards the wetland.
exactly. And so the wetland is running behind the hay bales.
So let us say that we'll remove these piles of fill that are near the dumpster location, which is if you're standing
Yes.
facing the building, it would be to the left.
Right.
You know where that is. And and we'll get that done for the next meeting.
All right,
Okay?
perfect,
And
sure.
if that seems to be maybe the extent, we'll even mulch it, that area, to ensure that it's stabilized.
Okay,
Okay?
so we'll just continue this to the next
Thank
meeting?
you very much.
All right.
Did I bring this up or was that one?
Right
No, you
behind
did.
it on
That's
the
yours.
side of it.
I'm not sure.
The
Sometimes.
side of it, okay. Goes right to the side
I
of
don't
it.
know when.
Yeah,
I thank you very much. I will get that fixed.
okay,
I've
thank
gone
you.
by
again.
All right.
I've by it several times, absolutely.
So I assume all the buildings are down, so what's
Oh, it's,
happened?
people
Yeah, I haven't
are,
been driving.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
It's the McDonald's site.
You can't miss
it's
it.
now being used for St. Vincent's. So you should check out, I mean, they've done a
Signs
nice
up.
job rehabbing in that building.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people are in it and working, so thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you again.
yeah, it's looking good.
Okay, so we're going to continue the request for certificates of compliance to February 14th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You too. I do not have meeting minutes for the last meeting, and that's fine. Just in your packets for February 14th, should be attached a copy of the MACC annual conference that's going to be held at Holy Cross on March 3rd. We've attended it. I found it very useful. I think, Allison, you would find it to be a very interesting experience. I think it would help you not only in connection with the Conservation Commission, but also with your paying job.
Yes, absolutely.
So I don't know when we have to get these in, but the sooner the better, I would imagine.
Yeah, they need to be paid before.
Right, and so Sheila will be back for our next meeting, and let's see. And as you know, as they do say, the sooner you can respond, the more likely it is that you'll get the seminars and the workshops that you want.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And
It's a great lunch.
you know, it's great cafeteria. I'll tell you, these kids at Holy Cross, they eat very well.
Spoiled.
Yeah, the
I would
breakfast
say,
and
well,
the lunch in the hall,
they're spoiled, but they pay for the privilege.
Yeah.
they're paying for the privilege, definitely. Got that
In
right.
any event, is there any other business?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What's this? Did this happen last week or last
We're good.
time?
What's that? It did.
Okay.
It did.
I'll put it away.
So you can view our meeting at
Oh,
auburnguide.com.
I know.
So in any event, okay, if there is no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn this evening?
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Thank you, everyone.